Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am finishing off 3 cards using a few different products. First, I'm using the stitched oval die from Spellbinders, and I'm using the stitched flower etch die from Spellbinders as well for all the flowers. And I'm using a stamp set from Spellbinders called Happy Moments. And I'm also using another stamp set from Salmon Says Stamp, and that is the Sympathy Greetings Mix, which has a lot of stamps on it. I really like that stamp set, so I use it quite a lot. So that Forever Remembered that I'm stamping right now, it comes from that Sympathy Greetings Mix. And I know some of you who are stitchers or stampers might be looking at this and thinking, what is she thinking? She is stamping after she has stitched. I know. I basically was so excited when I got my oval dies that I just went ahead and started stitching and didn't really think about what I was doing with the card. So I stamped after, which I do not recommend because you can easily mess up your beautiful die cut stitch oval or whatever it is and mess up your whole project with a bad stamp. But I actually ended up getting pretty lucky and did not have any fumbles with my stamps. So in the future I will be stamping before I stitch. So if you're interested in knowing how I do any of my stitching, I do have a playlist on my channel of all of the stitching cards, and it's basically the same thing for most of the stitching dies. It's up and down, in and out. So that's available. If you've watched any of my stitching videos previously, you know that I've recently fallen into the rabbit hole that is the stitching on cards world. So I'm stitching everything, and I thought that this design is pretty universal for different things. You can change the color, and it could be, if someone has a favorite color orange, you could make an orange card. You could stamp a birthday sentiment, sympathy, thank you, anything. I know that the end of the school year is coming up for a lot of people, and you could do a thank you card for a teacher and use any stamp set that would be appropriate for whatever occasion you are needing a card for. So to glue on any of my stitching elements, really anything, I always use liquid glue. I think that it just gives a little bit of wiggle room when you're putting it onto your project. And I think that the liquid glue dries really nicely with the thread. So that's what I always reach for. Some liquid glues that are pretty popular are the Barely Art liquid glue or the Art glitter glue. I've used both in the past and they worked pretty well. So depending on price is what I buy at the time when I need glue. So this card has several little flowers, and some of the other ones that I work on today only have one of the main flowers, but it just depends on what I'm feeling when I'm stitching, what colors I reach for, and I should probably work the other way around and do it that way, but this is just how it ended up working for these 3 cards. I would love to know if you've ever used any of the dies or the stamp sets that I've used or said in this video, and if you would like to share any of the projects that you have made using any of these products. I'd love to see them over on the Facebook page that is linked in the description. It's a enthusiastic group all about Spellbinders products and dies, mainly with any of the club items. So that's the card kits and the dies and the stamps. So if you're interested in sharing those, I'd love to see them. I'm always interested in seeing how creative people can be using the same few things. I can't quite decide if I like this card here with the white oval and white floral embellishments here, or the other card that is pink flowers with pink stitching. I can't decide. I'm not sure. I think that they're both interesting, but I'm going to have to think about what I want my card to be at the end when I go to die cut before I even start stitching. So, progress. We're learning, and that's all right. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.